Good morning. How are you guys today? Happy Thursday, or happy afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world. I'm Megan, and this is JoyThriveGlow, a nice cozy place to relax. And thanks for joining me today. Let me just do something here real quick. There we go, that's better. Alrighty. Get a few things set up. So I won't be able to stream very long today, and I almost didn't stream at all, so a little bit rushed, but I haven't been on for about a week. I was on last Wednesday, like right before Thanksgiving, and I had hoped to spend some mornings here just relaxing and chatting, but that didn't work out. So we are at least on today. So let me, sorry about coffee sounds, and you know what, let me make sure that my mic is being picked up and everything, and I'm hoping the music's not too loud. So I think we're good. It looks like, yep, we're live. All right, we're all good. So let me show you a few things that I've been working on, and then I will start my project for today. Yes, here we go. Alrighty, so what I will be working on today is, so I started another one of him, but a bigger version. And of course, you know, he's my baby alien. And he's going to get a brother, basically. Here we go. I have so many things right here because I want to show you guys so many things. Alright, so this guy is started. He's coming along nicely. But as you can tell, he's much larger than this one. And I have an ear. I finished this ear yesterday. It just pinned on right now. So I have the other ear started right here. And it's at a place where I don't have to add or take away stitches. So I can work on this for a few minutes this morning with you guys. But I'm really excited about him because he's nice and snuggly. I'm really excited to get him finished. So, yeah, that one, it's using the same pattern as this little guy. I just using two skeins of yarn. Skeins? Yeah, I always say skeins, but on the internet this week I've been realizing that it's more like skeins of yarn and things. So, yeah. So, anyways, so it's two pieces of yarn at a time being crocheted instead of just one, to get it nice and big like that. So yeah, I'm excited to get him finished. Yeah, so what else do I have to show you? So I know anyone who's lurking and watching, you may not have been around for a conversation, but sometime last week, one of the streams I had in the morning, someone mentioned cross-stitching and asked if I cross-stitched, and I didn't at the time, but I had been seeing more and more about it, more and more people talking about it, the more I was kind of just looking at different crafters on YouTube and on Twitch. So I decided that I should probably get into it, because I've been really had like a hankering to sit down and with like a needle and stitch things, and that just seems like the perfect thing to do. So let me show you what I have started so far, and then I'll show you the pattern. But this is what I have so far. It doesn't look like much at all, does it? But it is going to be, I'm using this pattern right here. So it has the Mandalorian and a child, who now has a name if you're watching the series, but I won't spoil it for you now. But yeah, then it says, "When you wish upon a Death Star." So super cute. Now, little baby alien, the child, who happens to look like Yoda, who's not Yoda, is, he's holding the little Mickey Mouse balloon. I might not put that in there. I probably won't do it, because I kind of like it being more like he's reaching for Mandalorian's hand to hold it. I think that's just super sweet. But, so this will probably be, I'm hoping to get it done by Christmas. We'll see. I'm working on so many things right now, but this will probably be a gift for my boyfriend. Now, I'm basically teaching myself to do this. When I was really young, like early elementary school, I'm sure my grandma or aunt, someone probably sat me down and showed me how to do this properly. But I'm kind of like reteaching myself, and just from YouTube videos. So I know enough to not get so that my stitches aren't going to fall out. But I also know enough to know that I'm not doing it completely right. So, and I'm sorry I'm going out of the camera so often. Let me just get this ear. Let me do a few stitches on here, and then I'll do some more show and tell, because I really don't have a whole lot of time this morning. I'm very sorry. So let me just chat a bit about why I wasn't able to be on more this week and last week. Okay, so I'm on row 16. Okay, all right, got this. Just gotta make sure I keep my place. So, initially last week, I was hoping to stream Friday morning or Friday afternoon, sometime Friday, and then maybe sometime Saturday. But, and that was because my boyfriend was going to work those mornings, and I kind of wanted to start streaming in general in the mornings when I had the house to myself and things, because he goes to work super early in the mornings. But anyways, Friday morning he woke up and he just did not feel good at all. He didn't feel that great. So he called in and didn't go. And later in the evening, it just became more apparent that he had a headache that wouldn't go away, and ibuprofen and stuff just really wasn't helping it, and he was coughing and stuff. So, and he was super tired, way tired than he should be. So anyone who knows anything about what's going on right now probably has an idea about what we were kind of thinking was wrong with him. So anyways, we Friday evening scheduled some tests for Saturday morning, and so Saturday we both went and got COVID test, and then later that afternoon, well, soon after the test, like once we got home from the test, he definitely was still not feeling that great. I talked to my parents because my mom actually had to be in the hospital recently for COVID pneumonia, so they kind of had an idea about what to be concerned for. So they had me get a little monitor that you put on your fingertip that does your oxygen and your pulse, and his oxygen was low. So we took him to the emergency room, and at the emergency room they basically looked at him and they're like, yeah, it looks like that you have COVID, so you shouldn't go to work for a week. So it was like 10 days after starting symptoms. So that was Saturday, and his symptoms really showed on Friday. So he should be able to go back to work on Monday. So anyways, that just, I wasn't going to stream Friday with him not feeling well, and then Saturday we were busy. So anyways, but he's peacefully sleeping right now, and it's okay. And I just really wanted to come and hang out this morning and share my projects with you guys. So he's doing fine now. So still really tired, but that apparently is something that will probably last for a little while. He's gonna be okay, I think. So, but it's just, it's just kind of scary. Not how I envisioned my week going. But, oh well, that's kind of what 2020's been about right now. Yeah, so I've been crafting a lot this week though. I've been spending quite a bit of time working on my few different projects. So I've made a lot of progress with the large baby Yoda, and I'm really excited to get him done. Really excited. A couple more rows. Because I really like having the small one, but there's some things with him that I just wanted to improve upon. For instance, on the little guy that I'm holding, I did his eyes weird. So I didn't do his eyes quite the way the pattern suggested. The pattern suggested putting a piece of brown felt underneath the safety eyes, and well, first of all, it called for larger safety eyes than I was able to find at Hobby Lobby, which is why I did a row of black around here and then a row of brown instead of the felt. But I don't like my decision to make an actual like circle and then kind of like stitch the circle on, because it just pops out really weird and it's not quite the look that's going for. I mean, he's still super cute, don't get me wrong, but that's why for the big one that I have that I'm working on, first of all, I was able to get a whole thing of safety eyes, so I have safety eyes that are quite a bit bigger, larger. So yeah, as you can see, like, the safety eyes really large. And then I still don't, I thought about getting the brown belt like the pattern called for, but I just, every time I go to the store, I would forget. So I didn't want to stop what I was doing, because you have to put the eyes in before you fully start the legs on him. So I just have them stitched, like more like an embroidery stitch of just a little bit of brown, just, you know, for some dimension on him. So I like the look of that way better. Look at his little floppy ear. Yeah, can't wait to get the second one, the second ear finished. He's gonna be so super cute. Yes. Hopefully, oh, you know what, I guess tomorrow's Friday. I was gonna say, hopefully I can get him finished by Friday. But that kind of mean getting him done today, but we'll see. I might be able to finish him tonight so I can snuggle with him as I watch The Mandalorian tomorrow. We shall see. Because I really enjoy having this guy as I watch the show, because I'm just a nerd. I'm just nerdy like that. Just really satisfying. But I feel like I was saying something, but I kind of forgot. But it's okay. But yeah, so trying to think what else. So I have so many things I'm working on. So the last few days, I've had like 3 projects basically that I've been alternating working on. In the first thing in the morning, and then right before bed. So obviously I've had this little green guy that I've been working on. And I had the cross stitch that I'm stitching away at. The other thing I've been working on this week is a granny square blanket. So it was a blanket that I started about a year ago. Because I got this super cute yarn at Hobby Lobby, and I was in a blanket making mood, so I started some squares, but then I ran out of the yarn, and just other things happened, like I was making other things, and I get into crafty sessions, I guess, like in the winter and the fall, and I don't do it quite as much in the summer, so I just didn't really think about it. And then I moved and stuff, so I just didn't think about it, because that's how life goes. Then on Friday, on Black Friday, I did venture out to one store, and I told myself that the store was super busy. If it didn't look like people were wearing masks or being safe, that I wasn't going to stay in the store. But I went to my local Hobby Lobby, and there was not very many people there. The store had only been open for like an hour when I got there, and so it wasn't super crowded, and everyone was keeping their distance and staying masked, so I felt comfortable being there. And as I was in the yarn aisle, I was able to find the yarn for that particular blanket. So I've been picking that back up. So now that I've talked about it, let me actually show it to you. So first of all, I'll show you what's left of the skein of yarn. So it's Hobby Lobby brand, basically. So it's Yarn Bee, and it's there we go, Sugar Wheel. And this particular color palette is Peppermint Bee. So I don't know why it's peppermint, because it's like more spearmint colors. But look at those gorgeous greens and blues. It's slightly washed out, but I think you get the gist of it. So this is like a greenish turquoise color. Well, this is like a greenish mint color. This is definitely mint. And then this is like a nice blue turquoise. A little bit of navy, a little bit of light green there. So, like all my favorite colors together. So, pretty excited. So it looks kind of weird the way I've decided to do the squares. And I'm okay with it. But I know some people might drive them crazy. So here's some squares that I've already done. So because there's such a long, a lot of the color together, you can get these pretty nice big squares, some of them all single colored. And then some of them have the two colors, which is cool. But I know that this might drive some people crazy. I'm okay with it though. I think it looks, I just kind of like it. So anyways, I'm gonna put cream border around all of them and then stitch them all together. But I'm kind of out of cream, so they don't all have cream borders. So here's some more. But anyways, I just really like the look, and I like the big floppy squares. So I'm kind of envisioning, once I finish this, for that to be the blanket that I have on my lap here, because it just goes with my vibe more than this. I really like this one, of course, because it's family heirloom at this point. But yeah, it's not quite the look I want to go for. And I really like the idea of having something I made on my lap while I'm streaming. And that one's just softer, partially because the yarn is newer, of course, and then I think it starts softer to begin with than this blanket here. But I'm pretty excited with how it's coming together. If I were to use that yarn for a blanket in the future, even if I did do like kind of like the granny square stitch, I think it would look even cooler if I had done maybe smaller squares or even larger squares, so that the color is changing more with it. I think ideally, if I was going specifically with the granny square stitch kind of style, instead of doing a square, if I had done one of those like just really long blankets that was just all that particular stitch, that might work best with the colors, with the color changing. That might look pretty cool. But when I started that blanket, I just really liked the idea of having something small to work on, little bits at a time. Because I've made large blankets before. I've made quite a few large blankets, and they just get really big. And when you're keeping it on your lap, It's not always the most convenient. You can't really take it many places. And I think when I started that, it was still warmer outside, like it wasn't quite cold yet. So you don't always want to have a big blanket on you when you're working on it. So that was kind of my reasoning for doing that style of blanket. But I did do larger squares as opposed to tiny squares like this one, because as much as I like the look of creating square blankets, I don't like the process of sewing them together very much. I've done it a few times. Trying to think. I think I've done like 3 other blankets that all had like squares that you stitch together afterwards. One was a legit granny square. The other one was, I think, more like it had a lot of triangles. It looked super cool, but it was a little intense. And then I did do more like a sampler blanket too. That wasn't granny squares, but it was just squares, but with you testing out all the different kinds of stitches with different textures. That is definitely one that I want to repeat, and I'll honestly make a fun project to work on stream. Because every square, you did like 2 or 3 squares per kind of stitch. So you did like front post crochet, just like lines, and then you did like X's, so it kind of looked like cabling. Super cute. There we go. Alright. We are coming along here. Alright. 2 more rows. And how am I doing on time? I have like 10 minutes left. So sorry this is short this morning, but I figured getting on and saying hi was better than not getting on at all. So my life just turned out differently this last week than I anticipated. But I know that, but I knew that just making myself get ready, turn on stream, just the process of it was going to be good for me this morning. You know, get me excited for it again, and yeah, I knew that I would just feel better about myself if I just spent a few minutes on here. And I'm sure that the next time I get on, I'll probably show you all the same projects again. But it's okay, because I'll have stuff to show you, because I will have progressed on them. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm hoping that now he's feeling somewhat better, that I'll be okay with jumping on tomorrow morning again. So my goal is to start stream, ideally to get the most amount of time before I have to start work, starting around 6:30 my time, which is 6:30 Eastern time. Works out best, because I'm working from home most days of the week, and right now, of course, being exposed to things, I really can't go to work anyways, can't go to the office, so I'm still working. So I'm feeling fine also, like somehow it didn't affect me at all, at least for now. Hopefully it won't be one of those where a week from now I'll get symptoms, but at least for right now I'm healthy and fine. But I start work at 9 Eastern time, so if I get on at 6:30, the idea is that I could have 2 hours and a little bit more if I wanted to hang out. So assuming that he's still sleeping well and stuff tomorrow, I might try to be on early, between 6:37, something like that. That's the plan. And then hopefully once he's feeling better and back to work, I can be more consistent with that. I'm hoping I know, I have so many hopes. Like, I know I keep saying it. I'm hoping this, I'm hoping that, but that's just kind of how it is right now. Not a whole lot set in stone at the moment. My goal is to stream at least 3 days a week for my goal is 2 hours. So like 6 hours of streaming a week. It makes sense to, the way my schedule is currently set up, to try to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday streams. But I could always be, I could always do Monday, Tuesday streams. Wouldn't be unheard of. They would just be shorter because if I'm driving to the office, it's like a 45-minute commute for me right now, so I have to leave earlier. So instead of streaming, I'd be driving. But yeah, here we go. All right, I got all the rows that were straight complete for right now. Now this is the part of the pattern where it starts coming in. Yeah, but it's gonna be super cute. Oh, so these ears. Now that since I'm using the two strands of yarn at a time to get this nice thick look, the size of it, and I was gonna show you, but I have the other ear pinned on. The size of it is like the same proportions for like an adult hat or even a child's hat, but like a regular human, not just a baby alien size. So I have this idea of making a couple ears and then crocheting a basic hat and making Yoda hats. I think that would be cute. But that would be another project. So let's see. I have a couple minutes before I need to start work, but I hope that anyone watching this in the future, anyone lurking now, I hope this has been somewhat enjoyable and somewhat relaxing for you. Let's see. Let me show you a couple things real quick before I leave. I have this big bag here with all my Christmas projects for my family. So I wanted to show you some yarn that I bought. And again, I'll show this to you later when I'm probably working on this. So I mentioned a few times on here that I'm going to make hats that look like this. So I made this hat for me a few weeks ago, and I love it. My sister saw it, and she really liked the pattern of it, and so she requested hats for her and her daughter, so my sister and my niece. And of course I want to make one for her because I was already thinking about making them. And I had purchased yarn for them, but I couldn't find, because I got this yarn, which is a wool blend. I had bought it at Hobby Lobby. But the day that I initially wanted to start the hats, I only had time to go to JoyThriveGlow, which is like only 5 minutes from my house as opposed to like 15 minutes. So, but JoyThriveGlow didn't have very much in the ways of wool blends. So I ended up getting acrylic, and anyways, I just wasn't pleased with the texture of the hat that I had started. So on Friday, Black Friday, I went to Hobby Lobby, and so I got this. So this is the same type of yarn. It's the same brand, same wool content, and everything as this hat. But it's this nice pale, it's like a nice pale white. I can probably tell a little bit, but this is like a purple, a little bit of gray. So nice neutral look. So this is what I'll be making my sister and niece's hats out of. And I'm pretty excited to get those started. And then my nephews, who are like 2.5, 3, or 2 and 3.5. No, I'm trying to think. Oh, dang. Chandler's gonna be 3, so River 4, something like that. Anyways, they're still pretty young. If I make them a hat, it's probably gonna get dirty pretty quickly. They might lose it. So instead of fancy wool blend yarn, my sister's like, yeah, just make a basic, and gonna do acrylic. But it's this nice, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, which is nice and soft. So it's still pretty soft yarn. So I'm gonna make them hats out of this pale gray. I may put in, she said they have, one of them has like a green coat, one has a blue coat, something like that. I might see what I have in my stash to see if I can add a little color to them. That way they can kind of know the difference, but having hats that can go like either one of them might just be fine too. So yeah, so there's one more thing that I had talked about, and I might still do a stream for this later. Let me see, is it in here? Because I kind of wanted to go over, and it's not yarn or stitching related at all. I wanted to show this journal that I got. So it's the Hero's Journal. Pretty excited about it, but I kind of wanted to do, I mean, I've obviously unboxed it and like rewrapped it and everything, but I kind of want to show this, just kind of go through this and the extras that it came with. It came with the edition that I got. It has some really cool stuff to it that I kind of want to share with you guys. So yeah, unfortunately it's just about time for me to go to work. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for those of you who might watch this in the future. I hope this was somewhat relaxing. I know I didn't have obviously I didn't have a whole lot of time. Didn't have a whole lot of nerdy things to go through, except that I love Baby Yoda. But anyways, I am still building my presence on the internet as JoyThriveGlow. So you can find me. You can find me on YouTube. I've been putting these VODs, these video on demands of these Twitch streams. I've been putting those on YouTube as well. So you can watch them there if you'd like. Or you can follow me on YouTube if you're not able to join me here. I think I'll also I intend to make videos specifically for YouTube in the future as well. So it's something I'm working on. I also, again, this is JoyThriveGlow. I have an Instagram account and I have a Twitter. Feel free to follow me on there. I will start putting kind of like notifications on there about when I will be able to go live, and if I had mentioned that I'm planning to go live and that I'm unable to, I will be mentioning it on there. So feel free to follow me on there. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day.